Cameron Young has ended the weekend with more than $6 in earnings and an impressive rookie campaign for his first season on tour. While it may not have been the 19th place finish on the final FedEx Cup standings that the talented golfer would have wanted, there's no denying that Cameron Young has proven himself as one of the exceptional golfers to look out for in the coming years. Meanwhile, another hot topic for debate is if Cameron Young will be willing to join LIV Golf. The rival series have definitely been interested in the professional golfer and offered him quite a lot of money to ditch the PGA Tour. Well, that was expected, especially after his impressive outing at the Open Championship. While many people were still preparing to go about their day on a lovely Thursday morning, Cameron Young was well on his way to the top of the leaderboard during the Open Championship in July of 2022. The Scarborough native had little experience coming into a major and was not many people's favorite. Still, running away on the lead when it was barely 9 a.m. on the 14th of July, 2022, showed the 25-year-old PGA rookie was not playing around. Although he would end the competition in a tie for third place, no one, not even Cameron Young, would have expected his young self, who was running to catch trains to school a couple of years back, to find himself right in the middle of a major upset. Still, Cameron Young has finally given his answer, and it doesn't look like the LIV Golf will be poaching this player anytime soon. Welcome to Golf Links. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get updates on new video drops. Cameron Young began to show promise as a golfer quite early, having a father who worked at Sleepy Hollow Country Club and a mother who sometimes played the sticks benefited Cameron Young greatly. In 2011, he became the youngest champion of the Metropolitan Golf Association Junior Championship and the Carter Cup while only 14 years old. By 2015, he had already added the Westchester Golf Association Amateur Trophy and the MGA Player of the Year to his name. Not to mention that the talented golfer had also twice won the Ike MGA Stroke Play Championship. Cameron Young had the good grades to try his luck at Stanford University, but instead opted for Wake Forest, where he was given the prestigious Lanny Watkins Scholarship. The Scarborough-born golfer would later joke that he didn't feel he was good enough to take the Arnold Palmer Scholarship. However, his compatriot and fellow PGA youngster Will Zalatoris took the Arnold Palmer Scholarship with open arms. The two golfers would later get paired together at the penultimate round of the 2022 PGA Championship. While answering questions on his possible pairing with Will Zalatoris, Cameron Young opened up a can of worms. According to the U.S. golfer, competing in the PGA Tour was perhaps why his father had worked for several years at the Sleepy Hollow Club. To the 25-year-old golfer, there was no way he could have started playing golf at 4 or joined many PGA Junior tournaments at the tender age of 8. Compared to many professional golfers, Cameron Young's meteoric rise, from playing in the National PGA Juniors up to the Junior Ryder Cup and now the PGA Championship, was indeed a terrific ride. Despite winning twice as a rookie at the U.S. Collegiate Championship and adding the Warrior Princeville Mackay Invitational to his trophy cabinet, Cameron Young went back to Wake Forest University. This time he had 9 important tasks on his to-do list. Interestingly, they all contained each of the changes the New York prodigy wanted to make to his drive. Fearing that something may go wrong, Jerry Haas, who was the Wake Forest men's golf coach at the time, had this to say to Cameron Young, quote, "We can make you improve, but the big question is, are you really going to come out better?" Unsure if the answer to his question lies with Cameron Young, Jerry has decided instead to call Cameron Young's dad, David Young, who had been the architect of his swinging style. Well, the call duration turned out to be shorter than anyone expected. Intriguingly, David Young only replied in less than 45 seconds of conversation that he had only sent his son to school to improve on his game, so whatever changes that came with his swings were good enough. An amazed Jerry Haas would later remark that David Young only proved to be an amazing father. Cameron Young later featured in the All-Atlantic Coast Conference Championship between 2017 and 2019. In 2019, Cameron Young became a professional golfer. However, he could only play in the Mackenzie Tour for the 2020 season. Sadly, due to the pandemic, the Mackenzie Tour canceled its 2020 golf season, leaving Cameron Young to try his luck with the Korn Ferry Tour events through the Monday qualifying series. However, it was until his 5th attempt before he was able to earn a spot at the Pinnacle Bank Championship in Nebraska. Maintaining a couple of top 25 finishes meant that the U.S. youngster could keep his place on the Korn Ferry Tour. Cameron Young, who had begun the season with no status, was somehow miraculously able to finish at the number 17 spot on the point standing list. Eventually, Cameron Young clinched the Evans Scholars Invitational and the Advent Health Championship titles only a week apart. Cameron Young finally earned his appearance on the PGA Tour after 5 different tries as a rookie. This feat meant that the 25-year-old made the cut for the Sanderson Farms Championship. To prove that the 2021 Evans Scholars Invitational champion would never forget his college coach, he texted Jerry Haas during the final rounds to inform the already overwhelmed trainer that he would try to make clean shots to win the contest. Despite missing out on the title, Cameron Young put in a fine display to earn a tie for the second spot. His finish at the Country Club of Jackson in Mississippi earned Cameron Young a jaw-dropping $625,000. What better way to start your rookie journey on the PGA Tour? Nevertheless, Jerry Haas has this to say about the youngster. How many kids think of texting their college trainer a couple of minutes before teeing in the final round? Even after the heartbreak of narrowly missing out on the title, the golfer still had all the time to text back Jerry Hall that he wasn't on a totally clean run for the day. His college coach could only express his optimism that Cameron Young would win the title soon enough. While answering questions on what he could have learned from being on the brink of winning the Sanderson Farms, Cameron Young said that being close enough is all the evidence he needed to prove it was only a matter of time before his first PGA Tour title. In February of 2022, the Sanderson Farms Championship runner-up experienced another taste of what it feels like to be on the brink. With another runner-up finish in less than a month, Cameron Young remained without his first PGA Tour title. However, his tie for the second spot at the Genesis Invitational meant he would join the ranks of the top 100 golfers globally. Following his California heroics, Jerry Haas described Cameron Young as a very aggressive bomber, especially since the stats showed that the Scarborough-born golfer was averaging an amazing 316 yards off the tee. In addition, Cameron Young was ranked second in a number of strokes gained while sitting comfortably on the 9th spot on the PGA Tour. Aside from finishing the 2022 PGA Championship tied for the 3rd spot, Cameron Young went on to show another major masterclass to finish the 2022 Open Championship with only a single shot behind Cameron Smith. With his recent form, Cameron Young pushed further up the global golf ranking chart to the top 20 in the world, on the back of his near misses at 2 major championships, while answering questions on which major title he would prefer between the PGA and the Open Championship. The 25-year-old U.S. golfer insisted that he didn't have any special preference and would grab whichever presents itself with open arms. On the other side of his recent incredible runs, Cameron Young has also had to deal with rumors of his intention to join the Saudi-backed Live Golf, following reports that Cameron Smith was heading to the Rebel Tour. As it turned out, this might not be the case after all, despite Cameron Young's failure to openly announce that he would not be having a relationship with Live Golf. According to sources close to the American golfer, the Live Golf management headed by Greg Norman has contacted Cameron Young with a mouth-watering offer. However, the golfer is ready with his answer, and that's not good news for Live Golf. Cameron Young admitted that he was actively considering joining the rival golf series, especially as they have a lot of good ideas. However, he's more focused on making the Ryder Cup team and a President's Cup team, and there's only one place he can get that dream to come to life, the PGA Tour. So, the young golfer has decided to stick with the PGA Tour, especially following the latest news about changes to their 2023 schedule. The PGA Tour has decided to introduce 12 elevated events, with the chance for players to walk away with almost £17 million on each tournament. For now, the golfer would like to see what the future of golf holds for him while playing on the tour. Cameron Young is a young father to Henry Young, who was born a year after he had tied the knot with his angelic partner Kelsey Delatian in 2020. The family of 3 currently lives in the golfer's beautiful mansion in Florida, the United States. Getting a multi-million-dollar mansion should not be a big deal for the 25-year-old in-form golfer, who's worth around $5 million, largely from some of his tour outings and winnings. Thanks to his impressive and productive golf swings, Cameron Young is believed to have a lucrative endorsement deal with Major League Baseball, joining the likes of Spencer Levin, Peter Malnati, and Brandon Todd, who the MLB has also sponsored in the past. Cameron Young may currently lack any title on the PGA Tour at the moment. Still, if his performances in the recent majors are to be noted, it's only a matter of time before the 2022 Open Championship runner-up will begin counting his wins.